Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have another reading vlog for you. If you just came from my very last reading vlog, you're like, oh my god, you're in the same outfit on the same couch. I'm always on this couch sitting right here reading. It's because I just finished Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home and I immediately am picking up Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I am so excited about this, mainly because the entire time I was reading The Long Way Home, I so desperately was craving Julian's chapters. Like, I just want to see him fall in love. I just have been dying to see what his perspective is falling in love, and so I can't wait to read it. And I'm just really excited about this. I'm very interested to see how the end of this is, because there was so much left unsaid in the end of The Long Way Home. Like, so much stuff. The whole time I was reading Long Way Home, I just kept thinking, oh my gosh, there has to be so much drama with Julian, Jonah, all of those people, because it was very like hidden from Magnolia, but I knew stuff was going down. So I'm very excited to read this book. Yeah, I just need Daisy and Christian. I just need them together. I need to see how they recover from this. I'm not excited to read the Tiller chapters, but I am very excited to read the Julian one. So welcome back to my reading vlog. If you're new here, I've got a reading Instagram. It's called @Kiki'sBookRats, and I give you guys updates on all of my reading stuff, TBR, what I'm reading, what I want to read, anything like that I talk about over there. I also have a Goodreads account where you guys can follow. I leave reviews, I rate my books, I give updates as I read. So those are my two book kind of plugs I have for you guys. I'm very excited. I'm gonna hop right into this and let's get into it. What's currently happening is Daisy just got all of these weird flowers left at her front door, and then they just went to Julian and they were like, are you guys sending flowers? I hate that Julian's acting like he doesn't care at all. Inside he's like dying for her to come back and stay with him. I just hate, like, in both books with Magnolia and BJ, and then like also with Julian and Daisy, it's like the pride thing is just so in the way that they won't say sorry or compromise. So that's what's happening right now. Nothing crazy. Why did it literally never occur to me that Romeo is going to need like so much therapy because Daisy shot herself in front of him? Like, I didn't even consider that, but Daisy just went and met with Romeo's mom and had breakfast, and she's like, you know, he's been in therapy for like 10 months because you've traumatized him. And I'm like, oh my god, wait a minute. Me thinking like, yeah, he hates her so much because she's with Tiller. No, babe, I completely forgot that Romeo was the one who she like walked into the whole house with and then like literally shot herself in front of. Totally forgot that. So I know something has to be wrong with me. I know something has to be wrong with me because I cannot even read this first chapter with Julian and Magnolia without being so giddy. Like, I'm just literally sitting here like this. Like, I can't. I'm not crying, by the way. I don't know why my eyes are watering. It's very bright in this room. Oh my gosh, they just have their first little like flirty banter, and I am just obsessed with seeing this from Julian's point of view. Like, I'm loving him being obsessed with Magnolia, and their banter and their flirting is just so good. It's so good. Oh my god, it is so insane going from Magnolia's books to Daisy's, because Daisy just left work and Romeo has been waiting for outside work, and these two people just tried to kidnap her. She stabbed them to death. I'm like, it's just so jarring reading, like when you read Magnolia's and she's just like shopping, like going back and forth with BJ, and then you read Daisy's life and she's like, yeah, this man just tried to kidnap me. I like stabbed him to death. They shot my friend Grace. Like, I'm just like, oh wow, this is it's so jarring. I freaking knew it. I literally said this in the last book when I had that interaction with Romeo and Tavi. I was like, I feel like the interaction that Romeo is having with this Tavi girl is the same interaction as like Magnolia and BJ from the other end. Like, there's always gonna be something with her. And of course, Romeo just told Daisy like, yeah, I'm back with Tavi, and she's like, you always told me not to worry about her. And I'm like, I knew it. Like, Romeo and that Tavi girl are very Magnolia and BJ coded. All of these names are so weird. Like, I hate saying them out loud. Tavi, Romeo, BJ, Magnolia, like, it's just a modge podge of names. But just had to point that out because I'm like, you know what? I totally clocked that. Julian and Daisy finally just made up. He's apologized to her, and it's just really sweet. Like, I'm just like, you're insane, Julian, and you are a kidnapper, but it's really sweet the way he loves her and wants to take care of her and initiated apologizing and stuff, as he should. But like, it's just really cute. I just read the chapter where Christian is explaining from his perspective, him hooking up with Parks in New York. It's so weird to read. I just can't picture it. I've never had in my life like an experience like where I've had like any kind of like one night stand or just like randomly made out with someone and like gotten really drunk and just been like, oh, I don't know. So like when I'm reading them doing these things like, oh, I was just like super drunk and I made this decision and I did this and this, it's so hard for me to wrap my head around. I'm like, but why? Like, I don't know why. I can't process it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just kind of worried because I know he's gonna obviously have to tell Daisy that he like made out with her, and I'm like, thank God Christian stopped himself from like actually sleeping with her, because I fully believe Magnolia would have slept with him. And thank God Christian stopped it, because it would have been so much worse. The way she writes is like so heartbreaking but also so good. Daisy just went with Christian and his family for Christmas, and she's like cooking with them. She's saying, I have a boyfriend and I'm not like this, but something about how the low winter light catches him and warms his face, it jolts me back in time. I remember with full force how badly I loved him, and in an instant I'm pining for what we were, and I hate it. I hate how out of control loving him feels. I hate that I'm with someone else and so is he. I hate that that doesn't seem to matter, because it does matter to me even though it doesn't. I hate that I got used to being without him, that it's not even a month back home with him just hanging around the house with my brother to undo something I spent the last year trying to box up and leave behind. Like, it's just, it's heartbreaking. I love Christian so much, you guys. Like, love him. I love him. It's actually sick how much I'm giggling. This is the first interaction I'm getting with Julian and Magnolia. So she just got in that fight with BJ because he went and slept with Jordan in her other book. So then she's going straight to Julian, and I'm just like giggling and giddy, which I think is so sick and twisted. What is wrong with my brain? I'm just so excited because I've been dying to see the way that Julian thinks about Magnolia. And it's like the second she walked in, he's just like, she is so beautiful. I'm so obsessed, and I just love it. And I also love that Koa is being like, he's been waiting for you for like 5 years. Like, I just love that like his group of people know that he's kind of always been obsessed with Magnolia. So it's like a big deal for him. I don't know. I just love this like trope. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's just like the guy who's just in denial that he's absolutely obsessed with the girl, and that is Julian. Like, him being obsessed with Magnolia right away. She hasn't left his house in days. They've just been like together, and she's staying over, and he's like, I don't want you to leave. She's like, I need to go to the gym. He's like, I'll train you. It's just like, I'm obsessed with it. And then like, I always love the scenes when it's like guys being questioned by their guy friends, and the guy friends are like, so you're really into her? And they're like, no, not at all. Like, I'm not into her at all. And I'm like, you're obsessed. You're obsessed, obviously. I am loving the conversations that she's having with Jonah. Also, my hair I look so bald right now because my hair is matching my like headboard, and it's so slick. I look so bald. Anyway, I'm loving the conversations she's having with Julian, but two things. First of all, they just had a conversation and he was basically like, can we finish at the same time, please? Which I thought was like such a weird conversation for him to approach with her. Like, okay. But also, she's having this conversation after they just hooked up, and he's like, I'm not gonna sleep with anyone else. And she's like, why? And he's like, have you seen you? And she's basically being like, that means nothing to me, because like, I've been pretty this whole time and like no one cares. Like, I feel like I'm still like treated poorly. And she just said to him, she said, I think that BJ thinks that me being beautiful will absorb the brunt of his repeated rejections, but all it's done is show me that beauty is worth nothing in the end. Julian's so like on her side though. He's like, I hate him now, like for the way that he's made her feel, and I love that. These scenes I think are like some of my favorites because I love seeing Magnolia in Daisy and Julian's like life and world, and Daisy and Magnolia just got like so drunk and they were sitting on the floor and Magnolia's braiding her hair, and it's just making me die. Like them two interacting is making me die. But Christian and Julian just got there and they're like, what are you guys doing? And Christian was like seriously questioning Magnolia on the eating thing, like if she's been eating, which I said in the last book, I was like saying that I felt like it was weird that Magnolia kept saying she was blacking out. This is why, because she's starving herself. The way I'm in love with Christian, like it has taken him 0.2 seconds to leave Vanna. Like he's like, goodbye. There is like BJ could never. BJ stuck around with Jordan the whole time in his book, even though he literally never wanted to be with her. Went and was sleeping with her immediately after telling Magnolia that he loves her and all of this stuff. Daisy is literally still dating Tiller. Christian has enough common sense to know, like, I am in love with her. I feel like we could be something, but I cannot in good conscience like ever pursue anything with her if I'm still entertaining Vanna. Dumps Vanna, and I'm just like, BJ literally could never. Like, BJ literally could never. Julian just had this convo with Jonah in the office, which, first of all, why is he doing coke? Like, let's actually not do that. But he just had this conversation with Jonah, and he's like, listen, you need to be careful with her because you're gonna fall in love with her. She might fall in love with you, but she will never fall in love with you the way that she falls in love with BJ. And I believe that that could be true. I believe that that is true. But why am I rooting for them? Like, oh my god. I need to like stop being so sick in the head. Like, I really do. Because like, I can't be thinking like this. I feel like I'm like betraying like the real love story of BJ and Magnolia. But I'm kind of also dying because I love this scene of Magnolia. When Julian is trying to make her jealous, he has this other girl in his lap. And she's like, I don't care if you want to feel up other girls, but when I'm in the same room as you, I am all that you see. And then in his head, he's like, I've probably never wanted her more than I did in that moment. I'm like, I love it. Oh, I feel so bad for Daisy. Like, I know her and Tiller are like, they've been bound to break up and their relationship is just like dwindling. But she just went to drop off his badge at work and overheard his ex-girlfriend like talking so bad about her, and he really doesn't even jump in and defend her at all. And I'm like, this was never gonna work between you guys anyway. Like, what were we actually doing here? Now I'm really nervous because she texted Christian and was like, meet me at this bar. And so she's gonna go to the bar and wait for Tiller to get there, and then she's gonna be there with Christian. And I'm just like, Daisy, you always do something that's just crazy. Julian just cut off this Josette girl because Magnolia just walked in on her like trying to hook up with him, and I'm just like dying because Julian is so freaking spiraling over Magnolia. He's just like so obsessed. It's actually so good. That's pretty much this whole vlog is just me dying over Julian being obsessed with Magnolia. But he just got smacked literally across the face by this Josette girl. She's like, I cannot believe that you're leaving me for her. I'm like, Josette, know your place, okay? The thought that I literally just had, I'm reading this scene, Daisy, I'm like so cozy right now. The angle of the camera. I'm reading this scene and Daisy's at the bar and she's cornering Tiller and like all his little work friends, and she's like making out with Christian, or like she brought Christian there. Literally what's playing in my head is Fresh Out the Slammer by Taylor Swift. Like, cause he's a cop, so I'm like picturing her like that, like Tiller was her jail. And then she's running home to Christian, you know. Anyway, I'm stopping tonight. I'm 50% through, but Christian and Daisy just officially are like kind of back together. She just broke up with Tiller and they're just like making out outside of her house, and I'm just like, God, the way that I love Christian is so insane, and Daisy is just so batshit crazy. She's crazy. Like, her breaking up with her cop boyfriend, like, you couldn't just break up with him in any normal way. You have to hold a gun to his face. Like, I'm like, honestly, like, what did he do to deserve a gun in his face and for you to make out with your ex right in front of him? Like, I understand he wasn't defending her and whatnot, but I'm like, that whole scene was It was quite a lot. I just read the chapter where Julian and Magnolia were at brunch just now and the lights went out, which I read this from Magnolia's point of view, and I said I knew it's because he's triggered and he thought something was going to happen to her, and that's why he freaked out. And seeing their conversation in the car, he's literally so upset with Magnolia for being like, are you okay? Why are you scared? Like, what's going on? I don't know. And it's just like making me so emotional because he is so invested in her. I have a serious problem. Like, I'm forgetting everything that I read in the last book about her and BJ because I'm obsessed with Julian. Unfortunately, I really like need them together. And it's making it difficult for me to see the light. Also, Keikoa and Happy are like both telling Julian, they're like, you are literally so stupid for just dropping her off at home and like not speaking to her again. Also, just read the conversation that Christian and Jonah were having with BJ, and BJ's like asking Christian like, how is she when you guys are like at the house? Like, how does she act? And he's like, they're really good together. Like, I actually think she might really like him and Julian might really like her. And BJ's like, what? Christian confessing his love for Daisy right now, like, I'm literally gonna cry. He's like, I am in love with you. I've been in love with you. I don't want to ever not be in love with you. I'm just like, also, I love Magnolia and Julian just like being here for this moment while Christian is telling her that he's in love with her. Magnolia's like, oh my god, love it. She's like squealing in the background. It's too good. Daisy's talking about a time when she was at this house at Lake Como. They're all in Italy now on their trip. And she's like reliving the scene when she was 6 years old. Her mom left her. I've been kind of wanting to know more about her relationship with her mom and like why her mom always didn't like her and stuff like that. And this is just like a look into her life as a child. And I also feel like it speaks to like how she grew up, like how she grew up and how she functions and stuff like that. But her mom left her at home by herself with the gardener, and the gardener like was being really weird with her and stuff, so she was hiding, and her dad literally just killed the gardener. And I'm just like, this is an insane story, and it's also really sad. It makes me really sad for her. Hi guys, I have like 85 pages left of my book, and I'm with Natty, and I feel like the last like many reading vlogs that I've done for the whole Magnolia Park series, I've been with Nat.
And I don't even live here.
She doesn't even live in California. But we have been seeing each other so much, and I'm so glad because we both are reading the whole Magnolia Park series like pretty much at the same time, except for she is a book ahead of me, which has been so nice because I'm able to just like talk about everything with her and she's not spoiling anything for me. So it's been so good. Now I'm gonna sit and I'm about to finish this book, The Great Undoing, and then I packed the 5th book, so I'm gonna start it immediately. Look at our setup.
This is Lonnie.
This is Lonnie.
I'm dog sitting her.
Lonnie is perfect. Lonnie, say hi. My update is that Daisy just got to the part. So Daisy and Christian are together and they're like fully in love and they're so cute and I'm obsessed. But we just got to the part where Daisy just found out about Christian's sex tape, which I obviously have been waiting for this because it was in the last book, but it's not going over very well. And Daisy being in bed with Romeo has been really annoying me. Not that she was doing anything, but I'm just like, I was just telling this to Nat, I get so annoyed because Christian like does everything Daisy says. Like Christian's like, you don't like Magnolia? Magnolia's done. Like had a full sit down conversation with her, and I'm like, if it was the other way around and Christian was telling Daisy like, no, you need to cut out Romeo, or like, I just don't feel comfortable, blah, blah, Daisy would not. I know she would not. Like that would just not happen. So it just annoys me because she's like making these decisions, and he just went over to talk to her. She's in bed with Romeo. And that's just really throwing me. Also, I am so deeply in love with Julian. It's actually sick.
Sickening.
Me and Nat. Yeah, we're very sickly in love with Julian. And I'm just so obsessed with him. I want him for myself, to be honest. But he just like broke things off with Magnolia, and he's going through it. He's in the trenches right now, and he's like very depressed and just drinking all the time, and everyone's just checking up on him. And I'm very scared because I know he gets shot at the end of this book, or I think he gets shot based off the ending of the last book. I think he gets shot, so I'm like waiting on that, but we'll see. Okay, they just actually watched the full tape and realized that what's her name, she's annoying, Vanna leaked it, which I don't know why they didn't even think that the first place. Like, I don't know, I would assume the only other person with the video was her, but they watched the full thing, and like him saying Daisy while he's with Vanna is just so amazing, but it doesn't make it that much more amazing. It's like still sickening. Anyway, and then Romeo just got shot, and his dad. So I'm like, who's next? Okay, this is my theory, Nat. You don't have to tell me, but
What part are you at?
I'm just thinking. I'm updating right now.
Okay.
They were over at Christian's for dinner, and his mom was hit over the head with a wine bottle in the cellar, and they're like at the hospital, whatever, and Christian just got in a fight with his dad, which was actually really sad. I don't know why that made me like so sad to see, but it did. But I think that, I don't know why I think that it's Callum, only because Callum is Christian's uncle or whatever, who he like hates. But I'm like thinking it only because when they were walking in to go to dinner, he was leaving. But I'm like, what if he didn't leave and he just like went down into the cellar? I don't know.
I
But
didn't think about that.
But it kind of confuses me. I don't know if I'm even supposed to be guessing about this, if it's just someone random, like in gang life. You know what I mean? Like it's just a random.
I was like, it's someone who is involved with all of the mafia stuff.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. But you know, Callum would be the head of all of them if the mom, Jonah, and Christian were gone. If all three of them were dead, then like he would be the head. But also, I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm just like thinking that to think that. But like Christian's always like right before that happened, Christian in his thoughts is like, I've never liked Callum, like I have such bad feelings about him, like he's been hating him the whole time. So I'm like, I wonder if that was it. I don't know.
You're also always so on the money, which is so annoying.
But I probably am not with this, but I'm just thinking like, who would hit her upside the head with a wine bottle? And also, how would they know that she would go down there and get wine? Do you know what I mean?
I have no insight as to what
I'm even talking about. Yeah, I know. It's probably going to be a Daisy in their book. Oh my God, you're burnt. Christian just went to Daisy and was like, I'm in. I want to go wherever you want to go. I want to leave this place and just like be with you forever, which is so cute in thought and so cute in theory. But I'm just like, this is not going to be happening anytime soon because something bad is about to happen. And I don't know what Daisy's going to do. I don't know what Christian's going to do, but I've got 10 more pages left. It's about to be bad. There's a vase and they're currently discussing what kind of flowers they're in it. And I'm like, I know they're daisies. I know they're daisies. I'm about to get in there. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, they're magnolias. Oh, they're magnolias. I knew the car accident was planned. I knew it. Not planned by him, but like by someone else.
Wait, what part are you at?
He just got the magnolias left in his office and just saw her get into the car accident. So that just happened, which means bad things. Bad things are coming in the last 7 pages that I have.
Not great things.
I'm so scared. I'm also really sad because Julian is like finally being like, he's being a little delulu, but he's like, we're gonna work. Like, I'm gonna be with her. I'm in love with her. I'm gonna start like trying. I'm gonna tell her like everything. And so now I'm like, well, obviously not. That's not happening. It makes me really sad.
It's like really frustrating.
And also, I'm just kind of like, Christian and Daisy having this whole convo about Christian's like, we're gonna go, like we're gonna leave here and like it's all gonna be good. I'm like, you guys are so cute and funny that you think that that's what's about to happen.
Hysterical.
Yeah. Oh, Romeo's bringing her something. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's kind of making me feel really weird. I literally have 2 more pages.
It's like so just a whirlwind.
So they just took her away.
Yep.
They just kidnapped her. And she's gone. Which, okay, this was my thing. I kept saying Julian's getting shot. Or like I thought he was getting shot at the end of this book. Because at the end of the last book, it had those text messages being like, Julian's been shot. Where is she? Asking for her address. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But I realize now.
It went back to the beginning.
It went back to the beginning. So for some reason, I thought the end of that last book was like like in the middle.
Was gonna be the end of
I thought it was going to be like in the middle of this one or the end of this one.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing now that that's already happened. So he actually wasn't shot and they just kidnapped. Well, like kidnapped is like, you know, a term.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would use that. And now she's gone. She's gone.
It's like devastating. So what's the exact part you're at?
No, literally they just put her in the car. Oh, and then Christian just held a gun to Jonah, which that part, like that pain, he's like losing his mind. Like you'll tell me now where she's at if I have this gun to you. And Jonah's like, are you insane? Are you actually insane? You're actually insane.
Yeah.
So he's just losing his mind and he's like crying with his dad right now. And I'm like, oh, this is so painful. And then
it's nice that they're crying together.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel so bad. And then now it's her in the car, her front kicking Miguel. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
You thought you were gonna run?
Yeah. You're not.
Okay, well, that's that. So who killed Bridget? So who killed Bridget?
Who killed Bridget?
As you're reading the book, do you know? Is that even like a plot point or it's not at all?
It comes up, but I'm not believing what I'm being told.
Okay, okay. I'm just like, this is not right. Things are not right. Me like stress fixing my hair.
Yeah.
I'm just so disheveled right now after finishing this book. Oh, wow. Wow, what a journey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just annoyed that I have to read the next book and it's Magnolia and BJ.
Yep.
And I want to know what Daisy is doing. Like, I need to know about Daisy.
So badly.
And we're not even going to get the next Daisy book for...
Let me look.
How long? Julian. King Julian. King Julian. What is he doing? Where is he at? Is he okay?
August 13th. So that's...
Of this year?
Yeah. Thank God.
Okay, but we won't get the other one until a long ways away. After that.
February.
Okay, that's not bad. I can so do that.
Yeah.
I can so make that work. So we've come to the end of the Daisy Hates reading vlog. I'm so sad because I've already started the 5th book and I'm 20% through it right now as I'm uploading this. So that vlog will be up very shortly. I've read this series really quickly and I'm loving it so much. Also, so many of you guys have messaged me on my Instagram. I have a book Instagram. It is Kiki's Book Rats, and you guys have messaged me and been like, I'm reading these along with you, and it's been so fun to watch the reading vlogs. So I'm actually gonna put a poll over on my book Instagram. I'm gonna ask you guys which book I should read next. That way you guys can have some input as to what reading vlog I upload next, and if you guys want to, you guys can read it along with me. It's kind of like a book club, but it's very chill. So if you guys want to know what book I'm reading next, or you guys want to have a say in what book I'm reading next, go over to my book Instagram because I'm going to post some polls over there and see what you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have been enjoying these. As you guys can tell by the end of this video, I cannot wait for the rest of the series to come out. Like, I'm dying for it. I'm so stoked about it. So stay tuned for the next reading vlog, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.